everybody, this is episode 5 of Breaking the Silence podcast with myself, Luke.
And me, Kim.
And we have Glenn on the computer tonight.
Turn him round.
Turn him round.
Turn
you round.
Hello guys, you alright?
We've got him here.
You can actually get his face. There he is.
You might not be able to see him. Obviously with, what's it called?
COVID.
Coronavirus, all that crap.
How can you forget what it's called when it's on the news every day?
Stop watching the news.
No.
Also, we've got to get him on Zoom. Once this is over, we'll have him on the table.
He'll be here.
He'll be sat here with us.
What, near me or?
Yeah, you can see this here. Yeah.
I don't really want
Right, you don't
to.
smell, do you, Glenn?
I'm going to be in the middle of you both.
Yeah.
You know, look at
I want to pick that seat. Dave's in the middle.
You just want to sit near Luke.
That's the whole point. You keep pushing us away.
You push me away off the sofa.
Yeah, tonight we're going to, I'm going to try and convince you of alien life, UFOs, life outside of the Earth's atmosphere, into space, everywhere. Kim is not a believer of that stuff.
No, I don't believe.
You didn't believe? You're only skeptical.
Skeptical.
Get the mick out of me a lot.
Yeah, because I just.
Well.
Because you're into sci-fi. I think because I look at aliens and I think sci-fi. And sci-fi ain't my favourite genre, you know what I mean?
Well, it's sci-fi, isn't it?
So that's probably why I don't take it that seriously. Best sci-fi film to what's that film where the prawns?
Prawns.
Prawns.
Yeah,
Prawns.
like they're known as prawns. South.
District 9.
District 9. That's the best.
Oh, right.
That's my favourite.
That is good.
I thought you watched like a knockoff Finding Nemo or something. I was like, thinking about it.
Have you seen it? You seen it?
I have seen it, yeah. I have seen it, yeah.
That's my favourite.
There was doing another one, wasn't there?
They're supposed to be.
I think there's two, isn't there? There's two of them.
No, there's only one.
Just the one?
District 9. There was going to do District 10 or District 12.
I have seen it, because they're like asylums or something, aren't they? They're like asylum seekers, but like alien asylum seekers in the world of, well, obviously America, because everything happens in fucking America. And they're all just like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you mean, I remember it now.
No, it was South Africa.
South Africa, it wasn't America.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
That one's Battle of Los Angeles, I think you're on about.
That's a great one, that one, by the way.
Yeah, I think I fell asleep when you put that one on.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I think for that one. Aspects of it, but I think there's some crazy, wild, like theories out there that puts me off.
Well, tonight, hopefully, I'm going to give you some crazy theories, and you're going to believe a bit more. Or obviously, this what we're saying is our facts, and then some of it is some of my crazy theories.
Can I just say though that most of the crazy theories that I have heard have come from you?
Yeah.
So
I like me crazy theories.
Like the
But
one you
it's-
put on Facebook the other day.
Oh, about the ISS being a go-to for aliens.
Yeah.
Like a docking station before they come on to Earth. They've got to go to the International Space Station and decontaminate themselves before they've got to come on it to come to Earth. Why is it there? Why is the International Space Station there? To do research? You don't see any of this research. You can go onto the NASA website and have a look what they're doing, but
you were saying that there was leaving things on there, like technologies, like modern day technologies.
yeah.
So I was thinking, what do you mean, like leaving the new iPhone on there or something? Is that where it
No.
all comes from?
No.
That's how you was making it sound.
That was kind of what I was getting at. They'll go to the International Space Station, drop some stuff off, and then go back. But like someone said, if they travel all this way and they're travelling at the speed of sound, they're not going to bother decontaminating, are they?
Glenn's lost.
Glenn's
like, what?
gone with the wind.
His theory, it was just the one bit of his theory that I've heard about is like the Roosevelt signed a treaty with the alien race or something and come down. As long as they don't destroy our planet, they can still take people off us and share their technology with us and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy. When you put part of that on, and it rang a bell. I looked back into it, and it was a theory that I've heard about of the treaty of alien life, whatever it was, and supposedly Roosevelt signed it after Roswell.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I was mentioning. Like, they've got to come on Earth, obviously with this treaty and that, You've got to go to the International Space Station, decontaminate themselves before they can come back to Earth, because you don't want to be bringing their alien viruses and stuff, do you?
What, like Corona?
No, because we can't even handle Corona. So what are we going to do if aliens bring a virus onto Earth? That's why they're going to need decontaminating.
Right.
We'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
I know. So to start with, you've got 800 million species on Earth, or over 8. I think it's 8.7 million species just on Earth alone. Yeah. So, and you've got what 100,000 million stars in the galaxy.
Aren't we made from stars?
Could be.
Do you mean could be? I
Could
thought
be.
we were.
Could not be. That's my later topic.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But yeah, you've got say 800 million species on Earth. Who's to say none of us are aliens already on the planet Earth? You've got like I say 100,000 million stars in our galaxy alone. So and you're telling me there's not a planet orbiting one of them stars that have got the potential to have life on it.
Obviously, there was two, weren't there?
Yeah, what is it? Centauri B isn't as a closest.
Yeah,
one.
a nebula or something, daft like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah, and
There
then
was two of them.
And then to think of that, like I say, that's just our galaxy. Then how many millions and millions and millions of galaxies you've got out of our galaxy, and how many stars? That's one thing to think about.
Well, I've got my first bit. You want to talk about my first bit? I've got the UK sightings, UFO sightings in the UK.
Yeah.
The top ones. I even made a little PowerPoint for it. Do you like it? But you'll just hear us clicking away in the background as to what I'm going to go on about anyway. So at the minute I've only got 3, but after the 3 I'll talk about, I'll go on to the top 5 UK hotspots as it is down as modern times. The first one we've got is Rendlesham Forest, Woodbridge. It's probably one of the most famous ones in the UK, down in Suffolk, Ipswich area. I was based down there for 3 years and nothing happened in that sort of sense. I can see how it can be mistaken because there's hardly any pollution from the city. You're quite far out in the sticks, so that on the night time the skies look absolutely amazing. Like it's just clear skies. You can see all the stars, and I think it is beautiful at night time because there's no contamination from the local areas, and there's no really main road next to it for a good few miles. But I did go down the UFO trail, and it's just forest area, and it's obviously throughout the years. I mean, the actual first incident happened in December the 26th, 1980, and then obviously again by all them times, God knows what people's done over with the turf and the branches and whatever happened in the actual area. It's probably been contaminated itself. But 0300 on the 26th of December 1980, an American guards saw light landing in Rendlesham's forest. They thought it was landing. They saw these crazy lights going through the forest and it kept flickering. So they decided to follow it on the east gate, chase it down. They then found what seemed to be a metallic aircraft with coloured lights floating around it, either on it or about it, but like weird humming sounds, stuff like that. They noticed at the same time something must be going on because the animals in the local farms were going absolutely apeshit. Things were reacting to what was happening in the forest. Yeah. So obviously they were like, well, what's going on here? Just in case it wasn't like some sort of attack onto the base, they rang the police. The local police turned up, but all they can see was the lights from a nearby lighthouse, which is still visible to this day. The next morning, they went across when there was more daylight. 3 imprints were found in the ground where the craft was, alongside burn marks and broken branches. They also did a radiation survey, and it started off like some areas like 0.3, some areas 0.4, and then some bits spiked at 0.7. But I don't know what the normal baseline was. It didn't tell us in the research what the baseline was, but you're going to expect some sort of radiation from the Earth anyway, as what it is. Yeah. It was claimed to be a hoax a few years after the 90s by a bloke who claimed to be driving his car around with flashing lights. And then it came out 3 years ago in 2018. The SAS claimed to take credit for the hoax. The reason being is what happened was they did a test flight and test parachutes. And at the time, Woodbridge was an American air base, but they also was an RAF base for them. So an Air Force base, and they had a new sonar equipment. So the SAS lads are jumping in with the parachutes with the black sails. They were getting picked up on the radars. So the Americans thought it was an attack. They've captured the SAS and they've beaten them and held them prisoner and stuff like that until it actually got confirmed they were soldiers. So to get revenge, the American army set off flares, tripwires, they set off smaller type aircrafts that can just be dispersed, threw them off. They were parachuting down and just basically tried to cause as much mayhem as they could for the Americans. And that's what the last claim was to be a hoax.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know any more about Red National Forest incident.
I read that it was the Americans and the SAS, like say SAS playing tricks on each other.
Why would they do that?
Yeah, I mean, innit?
No, is it just banter?
Yeah, it's just what they do.
Wow.
Yeah, it's what they do. But I suppose it's got.
Have you ever heard stories then? When you were
honestly been down there, I've asked around, just out of general curiosity, and it's a massive local attraction for people, so they're getting money off it, revenue, people going down, buying it in the local areas, like buying shops and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's good revenue, but looking at the area, you've got to have some sort of good manoeuvring aircraft to really try and land something in there, you know what I mean? Because the forest is random packed. There's only certain small patches you can get to.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a beautiful area, like, obviously the night sky, and the you can see like shooting stars and that going past. You can clearly tell what they are, you know what I mean? But it would definitely be very prominent to notice if something's landing in the forest.
Yeah.
Like you'll be able to tell what it is straight away because no other pollution apart from if not pure darkness at times. It'll definitely stand out.
I think I read that skeptics say that they're just these, what is it, nocturnal lights, just bright stars, and that people are just mistaking them for, you know, these UFO lights.
Well, you think with the soldiers, like obviously like myself, that's been travelling around. I'm from a village background anyway, but I've stayed in the cities, and you can, in certain areas, if you look up at the sky, you don't get a clearer sky than some people. Like they're saying down there was no pollution from the cities or nothing, so the sky looks amazing. Obviously, if people's not seeing that themselves, they haven't got a clue what that star is or haven't got a clue what that is in the sky. To them, it would be like, oh, how do I identify that?
Yeah.
Didn't one of them touch it though?
So yeah, he said he touched it and he had, was it cancer or something later on in the future or something he had?
Really?
Yeah, he had health problems, he said, in the future. Could be coincidence, but
coincidence, yeah.
Has there been any recent ones?
Nothing down there, no. The more recent ones, I'll get onto that later on, is mostly, it's weird enough, in Liverpool. They're all the most recent UFO sightings, and that's classed as a hotspot in Liverpool.
Oh.
Yeah.
So why that is? Why Liverpool?
Because they're all off the tip.
I do like Liverpool. I've seen the Churchill cover up, which has been doing the rounds on Facebook recently, but that was actually reported in 2010. But for some reason it seems to have sparked an interest again. People are talking about it again.
I think because with COVID and that, and people reckon this is the year that the aliens are gonna come down. So all these stories are starting to crop out.
Yeah.
And was it?
They would do them.
I read earlier. A scientist reckons it's coming. It's close. I think the same. But I reckon we are the aliens. To be fair.
You do, yeah. Said that.
Yeah. If you have
that there's aliens living among us.
There's that, but I think we actually are the aliens.
Back in what was it? We've always been told that we come from the Neanderthals, haven't we? But that's not the case. Scientists have discovered that we've got nothing in common with. We've got no DNA that matches with the Neanderthals. We apparently just come onto Earth out of nowhere. Yeah, you following me? Because if you've got that.
About that, so you'll see the family tree.
Yeah, but as I say, they've got the chromosomes. They've got DNA. They've got the chromosomes in the DNA. And our closest primates is the apes, the chimpanzees. We've got 23 pairs of chromosomes. Is it? Chromosomes, yeah. 40. No, but yeah, 23. Humans have got 23 pairs of chromosomes. 46, yeah. And then chimpanzees have got 24 pairs. and we've only got one less because we have got 2 of the ape's chromosomes at the telomeres were fused together. 2 of the telomeres were fused together and put into one of our chromosomes, and that actually has to have a fusion. So there's no evolution. Apparently that was say it was cut, fused together, and then put with one of our chromosomes. Along them lines, it gets tricky when you start talking about DNA and chromosomes, but that's, so we don't come from Neanderthals. We come from, like, I don't know, something else. I can't remember what it's called. Anaclyptic humans or something. But like I say, we apparently 200,000 years ago we just come to Earth. So I reckon we came from like space.
From a spaceship.
From a spaceship, took over.
There's two of them theories, isn't there? So you look around the human, the back family tree of us all, like from Neanderthals onwards, and obviously you see the ape-like creatures and that, and then it gets different from the Neanderthals. From them, they've tried to divert off. So you see it divert off. I don't want to get in photo of it. And that diverts off, and the bloke's like, he tries to do a full diagram of it all, and he stops it there. He's like, here is where we are, where we should have came in.
Yeah.
But they don't know what either the Neanderthal and apes mated with. They don't know who else we mated with, so it could be like a freak accident of just pure luck as we came about, or you have the ancient alien conspiracists who think that we were brought down as test subjects.
Yeah.
In fact, and
that's what I reckon.
But what would they be testing us for?
That's what I think. They're still coming to Earth now to do the same thing. As I said, they came down 200,000 years ago, dropped us off, or we brought ourselves, and then obviously you've got these. You're talking about DNA stuff.
It's about a farm. Is it the farm theory? So they think that, you know how we keep livestock,
Yeah.
like pigs, animals, and cows and stuff like that. Supposedly we were meant to be a similar project for them.
That's horrible thought.
Yeah, and then obviously they realised that we grew obviously the brains and intelligence and stuff like that, and then they kind of decided to keep us on, thinking that would just be normal livestock or crap like that. And I think it's just we've ended up being our own selves, and they didn't expect that sort of stuff, so they just kept us going.
Yeah.
That's just a theory of it all. I don't know. I think something down the line, like you see the example of the chicken. The chicken's a freak accident between dinosaurs. It's related to some sort of dinosaur, but it's also partially related to another bird.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it's like, it's just a mad freak accident as to how that came about. And people say, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Obviously, it's the egg because of what happened inside that egg, and it just came out of a chicken. The next thing you know, it has the ability to produce itself. So you have loads of chickens.
God, this is deep stuff, isn't it? Bloody hell.
Oh yeah, that's what you got to think about when you start talking about life and aliens and stuff.
So I think it was more. I think the human race probably came about more of the science behind it all, of maybe a freak accident, some daft like that, but then again, the story, my theory kind of gets quashed by what Luke was saying. The DNA behind it all, like where the hell's that come from, or how's it come from?
I think all life on Earth
it came from somewhere.
I said we have the same DNA as dogs, cats, all sorts. For some reason, we've got no in common with the Neanderthal DNA, which everyone which is what you get taught in school.
Yeah, isn't that the Darwin theory? That's what you get taught, isn't it?
Then Darwin comes out and says, the probability of life is none.
There's a theory.
So why is like what was I saying?
So the theory of the DNA isn't that, like we were saying beforehand. There's people now these days that's going on now. You know, like, is it negative blood types, or there's a type of blood type that they say was one of the first ones that we had, or the alien blood type they're called.
Yeah.
If you look it up on Google, there's one that I think it's a negative type. It's like O neg or something daft like that. It's one of the negative blood types it is, and it's meant to be classed as the alien special one because they have faster healing. Them people blood type have that faster healing. They have better antibodies. They have better chance of fighting off flus and stuff. And just one of them ones that was put out.
that's one of the biggest mysteries. Because like, why would they, like I say, why would they still teach the Neanderthals theory in schools and stuff if they do? I know they did back in the day, but like now like the real scientists have discovered this new like chromosomes and stuff in the DNA that it wasn't part of the Neanderthals, but they're still teaching it and they're still saying, yeah, it's Neanderthals.
I don't know, because Neanderthals look too human. Just
Sounds like a cover up. If it's true, then I don't see why would they? But why would they want to cover it up?
Because they want us to know. Why? As I say, why would if these aliens coming to Earth and stuff, if we are here, why is the government not telling us?
Well, I've got an answer for that.
Oh, answer it.
Let me just get to my piece of paper first. Wait, give me a chance. I did.
You tell nothing's scripted on these podcasts, can't you?
Apart from a little bit of research.
Well, there was a recent thing that happened in America where a professor who is originally from Israel, his name's I'm sorry, I might pronounce this wrong, Haim Eshed. He's 87 years old, and he said that Trump was very close to exposing the aliens, but he was sworn to secrecy because the aliens said basically, look, we're not ready to know the truth. If you promise me you'll keep it as a secret, we'll carry on peacefully doing these experiments. And what they want to do is basically, they're just trying to understand the fabric of the universe, and they want humans' help with it.
Yeah, we do.
And also Trump was told not to say anything because the Galactic Federation said people weren't ready and that they didn't want to create mass hysteria. And obviously with the current situation with COVID, we're not like mentally there yet. So we could literally be this. If it's true, we could be this close.
Yeah, but
coming out.
What would people do if they found out there was aliens? Would they be scared? Would they go crazy? Would they be happy?
Well, this Haim guy says that they come in peace.
I think the only biggest problem there is religion.
Obviously, it will make
religion
question people. People will start questioning religion, which is another reason about Churchill. One of the reasons why he didn't want things to come out, and he kept it a secret, was because obviously it was happening during the war, where basically RAF they went out on their raid, and then obviously they witnessed something. But Churchill was like, no, keep it a secret, because the fact that there was in wartime, so people were like hysterical, well not hysterical, but were on edge anyway. But he was also saying it would cause people to think about their religious views, and he didn't want it to affect.
It's a natural fear, isn't it? So technically we're the top of the food chain, aren't we?
Yeah.
It was scare people.
Yeah,
and you've got to look on the other side. If they do exist, how they getting here? Why can't we go there? What fuel type they're using? Say, for instance, if we found out their fuel type, say if it's water based, because obviously it might not be oil, and then you bring it here, it's going to affect the oil industry. It's going to destroy it. The amount of millions of pounds the oil industry is. That'll wipe it out.
Yeah.
Because you won't need it.
And so I don't think I don't think we should fear the aliens. I think the aliens should fear us, because we're the ones that are obsessed with wars and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the aliens have to do is just get in spacecraft.
I don't think we'll stand a chance, me personally.
Mm.
I mean, we're still if they've got the ability to travel to different planets, and we're still stuck in what we are. You know what I mean? We'll nothing compared to them, are we?
Mm.
Okay, it was just how old these aliens are. They could be millions of years advanced to us, and that's why they can travel. Obviously, they've figured out how to.
I found something on that bloodline thing.
Yeah.
So some believe that Rh negative blood is simply a mutation that's came about at some unknown time in our evolution. But as strange as it sounds, others have speculated that the possibility it may have come from alien species that interbred with humans or engineered us in some way, producing a hybrid bloodline. So so you have the negative and positive, and the negative ones is what people think is like, well, what's all that about?
Obviously, they've got they came here interbred with apes or chimpanzees, because I think there's 98. Is it 98%? Like 98% were alike to chimpanzees.
Yeah, we're so close. Yeah,
I think it's that 2%. I think it's because that chromosome they've got two. Two of their telomere chromosomes was like fused together. And I think our scientists have only just started being able to do that or something. And this was done 200,000 years ago. That's my theory anyway. I reckon we had the aliens. Oh, it was created by aliens.
I don't know.
I like to think that we're kind of made of ourselves. I like to think that sort of freak accident or something in the freak mutation, our genes just suddenly transferred us into different streams of human beings from the Neanderthals. Obviously, they've died out because we became smarter.
Oh, you've gone missing again. Oh, you're back.
I know, I'm back. That's what I think, unless there's higher proof taught or someone comes out. But I don't think we'll ever know, really, unless one of the guys come down and say, listen, you're part of this chain, you've done this, we've done that, we modified you with this way. Like, but I'd like to believe it all came from a mutation within the evolution chain of ourselves.
I think I believe more sort of. I don't think we're the aliens. I think I personally think that's a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, because like I say, they also there's saying that everyone and everything is connected through consciousness. Obviously, you've got the vast universe and all its consciousness, and we're all part of that.
We're all one.
We're all one. Obviously, you've got, because we was all created from the Big Bang and whatever else went on in the universe, and how old that is.
I don't know about that.
You don't know, you're not convinced yet, are you?
No. No, I'm not. But I want to talk about my bit.
Go on then.
Come on, give me my moment. I want to talk about Men in Black.
The reason I'm interested in these is because when I've read about them or I've heard about them, I actually find them quite terrifying. It's something quite scary about it. And this is obviously people think they're different things. Some people think that they do work for the government. Some people think that they're the aliens themselves. And there's even a theory out there that there could actually be some kind of demonic supernatural thing to them, which I didn't know that.
Burren Mountains in Wales, so the Welsh Roswell.
Yeah.
Supposedly after that incident, there was claimants of MIB sightings after the incident questioned the locals about what they saw that night.
Yeah.
And they brought with them a high military presence. And the government turned around and said, no, it's civilian or aircraft people, but also on all these weird suits and that, and you're not civilian stuff, you know what I mean? So just like that. Obviously, I think you're going to come on that later on, aren't you, with them? But normally after every sighting or incident, these guys just pop out.
It's like Project Blue Book, though, isn't it?
I know what.
Yeah, that's massive. That Project Blue Book,
true story.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's massive. Project Blue Book.
I say these two investigators came around to every sighting, especially in the military, wasn't it? Investigated it.
So they always get described, obviously, they're in the black suits. They mainly use threatening tactics to put fear into people to stop them from talking. And yeah, they're just weird.
Get the nebulizers out.
Yeah, like the film.
Look, Glenn's shocked. I've just nebulized him. Is it actually called it nebulized? Is it?
I think so. I ain't seen Men in Black in years. I always think of the scene where that woman's giving birth to that alien, and then he jumps out and it's got like all little tentacles and stuff. But yeah, they originally came from apparently the whole idea of Men in Black. There's a rumor going around that it was actually started by an author called Gray Barker, a writer. He was an American writer who specialises in UFOs and the paranormal. And it was in his first book, I think it was called They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers. It was released in 1956. But it was rumoured that he actually came up with the theory of Men in Black as a joke, and it's just sort of took on and created this mass hysteria. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. It could be just a myth, but they reckon that's the skeptical people out there believe it was just started off as a joke and it's just sort of spread.
Yeah, that's what every skeptical person claims, especially when it comes to stuff like this. It's a joke or it's a hoax. When in fact, it's probably actually not.
Yeah.
Because if you get all these UFO sightings and the reportings, which we've got, obviously we'll have to put a few on, won't we?
Yeah, I've got a few.
We've got a few of the reports.
Yeah.
Obviously, so someone's obviously investigating it. Obviously, you got the government, our side, and you've got the Men in Black. That could be the aliens.
Yeah.
Like, that's the governments and the aliens working together.
To keep it all hush hush.
No, obviously the government want to keep our people safe, and they want to keep their people safe, and vice versa. They want to keep each other safe, because, like you said, we go to war with each other. Humans and humans go to war with each other. Can you imagine?
All the time.
Yeah. Can you imagine if the is alien life on Earth, and these humans find out about it, and they're not going to like it. They're going to get scared, and they're going to want to fight them. And that'll be it.
I've got a reporting of someone that has witnessed these Men in Black. Dr. Herbert Hopkins is a famous reporting.
Yeah.
He was visited after working on a UFO case. He described the typical, they're in the suits, got extremely pale skin, no hair or eyebrows, and basically the mysterious visitor made a coin disappear in his hand, but not just like a magic trick, like it literally dissolved in his hand. And he turned around to him and went, "You need to be careful what you're doing, otherwise you'll end up like Bernie Hill." And I thought, who's Bernie Hill? So I looked up who Bernie Hill was, and basically the Hills, it was known as the Hill abduction, or was it? Yeah, it was the Hill abduction, wasn't it? You can tell I'm not very thing with this stuff. Yeah, Barney and Betty Hill, the Hill abduction. In 1961, they were actually one of the first to report an alien abduction in America. They was driving along from a vacation in Canada back to America, and they said that they saw bright lights in the sky. Obviously intrigued by it, Betty got out the car to have a look, and she said it looked like a saucer with like different colour lights. She went back in the car, they continued to drive, but then like obviously Barney got interested, stopped, because it was as if it was following him. So he got his binoculars out to have a look, and he could see, he described them as, he said there was reckon about 11 humanoids inside this window of this saucer, and he just instantly felt fearful. So he ran back into the car and was like, "We've got to go." So they put the foot down, and they're trying to drive off, but this saucer was fast enough to like keep up with them, and it was directly above them. All of a sudden, the car started to vibrate, they heard a buzzing noise, and they was knocked unconscious. When they was back down to earth, as you might want to call it, obviously there was like days, they didn't really know what had happened, but they noticed that they were like further down the road, so they did a U-turn and went back, and they noticed there was a road closure, and they saw like a red orb in the middle of the road. Eventually when they made it home, they noticed that their watches weren't working. Some say that Betty's dress was torn up, others say that she had like a pink dust on her dress and she actually got it experimented on. I couldn't find anything else on that, so I don't know about that. And Betty had some really vivid dreams, and she remembers one dream in particular where she remembers being on this spacecraft, and they'd separated her from Barney, and they did a few tests on him, and one particular test was where they'd put something in her navel which caused her a lot of pain, and she actually went to a hypnosis and all sorts. And after a few investigations, like they didn't bother with like publicity or anything like that, they just carried on with their normal lives. But going back to the Men in Black thing, this Men in Black person basically said to the guy that he visited, the Dr. Hopkins guy, "If you're not careful, you'll end up like them." and he was like, "Oh, how do you know about that kind of thing?" So it was really.
He must have been one on the spaceship.
Yeah. Well, on the spaceship as well, they described the humanoids. Again, there was grey, really tall, and they actually was wearing like a black uniform. That's how they described them on the saucer. So.
Really tall.
Yeah, and really tall, which is how they describe these men in black, don't they? As really tall.
Like a stick man.
Yeah.
So I got a Facebook message the other day actually. It's from it's probably good for that.
Yeah.
But he's in the army, Glenn. He was on the way back. His missus picked him up. And as I was driving back in near Bradley Woods in Grimsby, he said he was driving along and they see what looked like a shadow, but the shadow was like a stick man. It was like, I think it looked like that with a big round head. It just walked past him, or it floated. They said it kind of floated past him, like that. And then he did some research on it, and it's been loads of sightings of it. Some other woman sent in his air experience, and he found a YouTube video actually someone what was calling it. And there was a full video on it. It's pretty weird. It just sounds like that.
Dan Aykroyd as well, famous actor, right, with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
He's recently came forward and said he's had an experience with the Men in Black. He was filming a TV series called Out There, which was all about UFOs and things like that. And he was at work. He went out. He was on the phone to Britney Spears.
As you do.
Yeah. Celebrity. So, and all of a sudden he saw a black car park across the road. He tried to have a look at the license plate, but it was all fuzzy. He couldn't make it out. But all of a sudden, this really tall bloke got out the back. He says he was really tall, and he just stood there and looked at him. But he says he felt like it was quite threatening. And all Dan did is he turned around for a split second, turned back, and this guy in this car completely disappeared. Like he didn't even hear it drive off or anything like that. Anyways, 2 hours later, he gets a phone call to say that his show Out There got cancelled. And he filmed over 26 episodes, and he says that he might put them on DVD. But he reckons because they were close to something that these Men in Black were like, no, stop. He reckons it was the Men in Black encounter. So,
That's what I hope when we keep going on with this podcast, like UFOs and stuff, might come knocking on our door.
Might come knocking on our door.
What would you say to him? See, this is the difference though.
Oh, we
right?
coming in for a cup of tea.
Yeah, we went on about that doctor, and he was there showing him this coin like just dissolving in his hand. I would have been like, wow, like can you make this disappear? What can you do?
Do it again, do it again, do it again.
Yeah. I'd think it like a magic trick or something.
Good, wasn't it?
Yeah. They'd probably want it there. They wouldn't last long in this house. They'd want to get out.
Kim's going to bring down a photo album collection.
Yeah, I'd get my photo albums out. That would scare them away.
What are you talking about then?
I think it could be actual people though, like Men in Black, and there's a generic thing in it. You don't want to be uniform, do you? You can identify somebody by the colour of the hair. I mean, marks on the actual hairlines, because some people that I know there was two lads I went to school with, and they just had like white patches here. The hair was all just normal, but like bright white patches. The little things I had, the types of eyebrows they've got. Everyone's got different types of eyebrows, and just it could just be something that they could just generically be uniform with, so just take it all off. And it could be just CIA governmental thing. I mean, it's a bit weird. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, even like the military, it's all uniformal, so we all stay in the same uniform. And we all trying to have the same haircut with the short back and sides and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Makes us stand out a mile out of uniform, but in uniform we kind of look very much similar, unless you obviously lost all your hair. Like,
do you reckon then that there might not be aliens? It might just be a government thing, and they just get a particular type of. Say that they might just employ really tall people, and like you just said, maybe they just make them dress a certain way and like make them really pale, and then get them to just scare people.
It's one of them ones, isn't it? You just don't know. Like these Men in Black guys, I mean, they sound intimidating enough as it is, but they do come around at the old weird paranormal stuff anyway, which is all right, but weird in that sort of stretch. But you'd like to think the government's got a plan for certain aspects of what's going to happen in their life in the future. No, these guys who've done like something like say 25, 26 years CIA, and they've already got all this intelligence anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's no point. You can't put people like that in civvy street. You can't put that in civvy streets. You can't put them in normal day-to-day jobs after retire. They've got to be a function somewhere, and if that's all they know, and then throw them back in a job, but throw them back in somewhere which is more high-tech security, more like literally NATO secret stuff. You know what I mean? I think that's probably what they've probably done. I wouldn't say the alien people who's come down to help out and just try and cover their own stories up.
Yeah.
Well, when we're allowed back out, I'm going to do that CE5 initiation. I'm going to go out into a field. Get me meditation on. Get me app out. Get me crop circle tones on.
Can't you put the sound on so you can hear it?
No.
Right.
I'll get you it.
Go on, do the.
I'll come with you for a drinking session
Yeah,
I'll come with you. We'll camp out, mate. Drinking session, camping out.
Yeah.
Is it something about that? Men in Blacks being part of that Majestic 12 stuff?
I don't know about that bit. I ain't got out about that. What's that?
Just it's like
what's
secret society, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it's some about all these millionaires that want to change the world for themselves and make like a new world order and stuff. And
Oh, okay. Oh no, I've not heard that one.
It's a bit of a weird one, like.
See, like I say, I didn't know that some people even think they could be like a demonic supernatural, and I was like trying to find something on that, but I couldn't find anything. It was something I just read, and I thought, I tried to see the link as to why someone would think that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's because they've got really big black eyes, and demons they're meant to have, the big.
Yeah.
Dressing up in suits. I just couldn't imagine a demon like dressing up in the suit, looking all smart.
Yeah.
Hold on. I've got something here on the Majestic 12 here.
That's
so Majestic count of 12. Sorry?
You what?
I've got something on Majestic 12
here.
Yeah. So it's an organisation and secret society made up of elites and powerful figures who are conspiring to rule the world and are main antagon. I'm the one. Cyberpunk disputation. Secret society that was once part of the Illuminati, but in 2035 they launched a military coup and took over their entire system and overthrew them.
Wow.
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, the Majestic 12. You've got like the Rothschilds and stuff like that all involved, and it's all. But then again, the Illuminati, different podcasts altogether wouldn't do on that.
Yeah, totally. You can go off on so many different things with it.
Yeah.
We're just going to try and keep it as the introduction kind of thing tonight.
Yeah, because you was like, oh no, you didn't want to get into.
If you get into it, you're gonna be here all night, and you're just gonna use it all on your first podcast. Aliens, aren't you?
Yeah. So
like
you're saying there could be an alien part too.
Yeah, there are.
There's loads of weird ones. You've got in the UK alone. So with obviously UFO and stuff like that. So you've got Liverpool is a UK top alien sighting hotspot. The police and military had 13 calls regarding UFO sightings since 2013, more than anywhere else in the UK. They've got an alien group. It's a mutual UFO network, and they've received 17 reports of UFOs seen across Liverpool in 2016 and 2015. A Ryanair flight was delayed due to a UFO being sighted over River Mersey. You've got Wiltshire. Wiltshire's got loads of crop circle formations, and that's been since the 1950s.
Yeah.
You've got Bonnybridge, a Scottish town, which is probably one of the most visited places in the world for UFO sightings. An average of 300 sightings are claimed per year. 300 sightings a year in Scotland in this one place, Bonnybridge. Staffordshire. UFOs aren't just aliens, as werewolves, pigmen, black-eyed children, and even Bigfoot himself have been reported by the local people. Broadhaven. Alien sightings go as far back as the 1970s in the Welsh seaside town. So there's loads of stuff all over the UK, and I think
plenty of places together, isn't there?
Yeah.
When we can, I say when we can get out, I want to go to one of them places, and I say try the CE5 initiative. where you get your chairs out, we'll sit in the field.
It's going to be fun,
Get your
Kim.
binoculars out, get your yeah, look, you play the crop circle tunes to it, which is this. So you're sitting in your chair in the middle of the field, meditating. You're playing this.
That just sounds somebody rattling a penny across the table or something.
And what do you do though?
And
Do you
wake
go,
up.
are there any aliens there? If you're there, can you not once for you,
No, yeah.
twice for night?
Show
That
yourself.
what you do?
No, you play the crop circle tunes. You meditate.
So what's the crop
And-
circle tune? I mean, where does that come about of? What is that? Is that what songs left after they've done a crop circle?
No.
Like, you know, like
it's just what it's called on this app, crop circle tunes
All right.
or tones.
It's probably like that's their now CD, isn't it? It tracks them. Now that's what I call crop
Yeah,
circle.
You meditate and then you project like good vibes, good intentions, and your location is something like that. I have not tried it yet because that's what we can't get out, but that's what you do. And then you just meditate for half hour and look in the sky. Get your binoculars out. Obviously, you need your apps out. Was like obviously what satellites are going over there, get mixed up. But there's no one actually. If you go on the ISS Live Now app, you can watch the cameras on the space station.
Yeah, I've seen you put that up.
I've captured loads on
You
there.
love that.
I've captured the one that's
You
can I see this and watch it all the
sit there
time.
and stare at it. You put it on the big TV
Yeah.
and you literally go up there and he stares at it.
Because
I can imagine Luke doing that and Kim sitting behind him playing The Sims.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
What I don't get about it is like when it's on the Earth, when it's light, you can see the Earth. It's moving, obviously, because the ISS is moving. It's moving. You can see it moving. When it's on the night time and you see all the stars, it doesn't seem to be moving. Like the stars don't move. Obviously, I'm guessing because it's so big.
I wouldn't expect them to move because of the fact that them stars might be suns, aren't they?
I mean, because like with the ISS moving, obviously the stars would surely change, wouldn't they? Say if there's a star there,
Oh,
the ISS
yeah,
is
like
moving,
the formation
and
of
the
them all.
camera's only fixed on one point, surely.
Yeah.
But it don't move. But you now and again you'll see like balls of light moving across the screen. And I thought, at first I thought, oh, it's just a satellite. But then
Well, the thing is, you see that I've seen that
you'll
loads
get
times
two
at
or
night
three
time.
moving together. It's dead weird. I'll show you. You'll put a video on.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that just being by
Video
myself.
coming
Like,
now.
just at night time, you can see it at night time yourself. You look at the sky, you'll see the odd star just moving from like left to right or something.
Yeah.
I never knew what it was. I thought it was just a satellite or something.
Yeah, it probably is a satellite up there, but on the ISS, when you see it, obviously on the cameras.
Have you heard about the alien satellite?
The satellites won't be so close together.
Have you heard about the alien satellite? Is it the black satellite?
No.
You not heard about that?
No.
It's been around supposedly for absolutely years and years. This alien satellite. I'm sure it's called the black satellite or something. Hold on. I can't remember the full name of it. Alien satellite. The Black Knight satellite. You not said about that one? It's been around for years, that. It's a massive.
Is it actually up there?
Yeah, it's been found, but no one knows who it belongs to.
Well, they think it's alien.
Hold on, so I can get it. So 120 years since conspiracists believed that existence of the Black Knight was recorded. Those who claim to know the theory claim extraterrestrial spacecraft in the near polar orbit of the Earth. Oh, piss off. Although they draw upon evidence so desperate that it's not entirely clear why people link them up, but what they amount to, however, is an intriguing set of ingredients that, taken together, cause people to scream loud potential cover-ups by NASA and the government.
Where has it gone?
Hold on. If you look it up, have you got Google in front of you now?
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to get on?
Yeah, what phone?
Get on your phone.
There's been loads of stuff about this Black Knight satellite. There's been loads of stuff out for years. There was photo evidence, but they can't really see it. It's photo evidence. They don't want to prove it. But it comes around every so often.
Oh, is it still there then?
Yeah, it's like debris.
Why haven't I got it?
But they call it a different satellite.
Another conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it is, yeah. That's just stuff that I've heard of.
That was like a spaceship or a boat.
Oh God, he's getting excited.
That's what's been floating around for years.
Did you hear the excitement in his voice?
I know, yeah.
I've actually seen the picture of that, but I didn't realise it was called the Black Knight.
It's like Batman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could be Batman's spaceship. Yeah, he lives at Woollerton. He lives in Woollerton Hall.
Are you going to get into the alien theory of the pyramids?
Oh God.
I've been waiting for this and it hasn't came out yet. I've been dying to ask Luke. I know he's been itching. He's been fucking itching.
What you say? You got muffled?
Don't get me involved in this one.
You got muffled. What did you say?
I said, I bet you've been itching to see this one.
The pyramids. That's all he ever says.
I've got a theory about I wouldn't say a theory, but the past lives of the ancient gods and stuff like that. No,
that's another thing you could say with us randomly appearing on Earth 200,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, they came and made us, and then they stayed to show us the way, built loads of stuff for us, and then we overpowered them, so they left.
And that's how we've got the pyramids.
Aliens built the
Did
pyramids.
they say any that because the pyramids are so sort of narrow and big, and they reckon there's no way that we could have built these pyramids.
The main theory about the pyramids is that they are mathematically perfect.
Yeah.
Like where they are in the world, they're like they're across the world's lines and stuff like that. They correspond with stars.
Yeah.
They correspond with the actual the way the Earth moves and stuff like that. I mean, they're at the point, the perfect north, and the numbers, like the certain circumference of the whole thing, whatever it is, all the sides put together that equal a certain amount, which is perfect to or equivalent to what the Earth is in trajectory, something death like that, or the Earth's orbit. It's like mathematically, it's unbelievable how close they got it. It's like a point out. Something definitely or 2 points out.
Humans could have done that without the tools they had.
So you got Tutankhamun, like stuff going back to Egypt and that. You've got Tutankhamun and his dagger, when they found his dagger in his tomb.
Yeah.
Made out of meteorite.
Oh.
It was made so. It's partially made of. Obviously, I think it's iron or something like that, but the rest of it was partially made of meteorite that they found that landed in the earth. And I mean, the chance of getting a perfect blade out of that was very, very slim. But somehow they managed to get the right temperature and smelt it and stuff like that. And I mean, literally, it's like more or less impossible. But they managed to do it perfect. I think Tutankhamun's blade, it's mad. It's like nickel. I think it was nickel they found in it as well.
Be good to find something like that, wouldn't it?
But there's loads, it'll be amazing. So there's some people still find stuff around Roswell they don't understand what it is and stuff like that.
See, when you say Roswell, I instantly think of that TV show that you was watching. Roswell. And honestly, I wanted to stab my eyes out.
It's my guilty pleasure.
It was so bad.
Still on, I think.
It's such a bad series. The modern one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's a Roswell, the old Roswell series.
Oh, it's called Roswell. This one's called Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah. Oh,
I like Ant Deck's version, Ant Deck's version of Roswell.
Oh my.
Well, they actually do the autopsy.
Yeah, Ant Deck's autopsy. I might watch that.
That was random. What made him want to do that film? It wasn't even like funnier, was it? It was just
it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
You would say that. They're like your gods, isn't they?
Yeah, they're amazing. They're absolutely class.
Yeah.
We'll camp out.
I'm interested. I believe that there's definitely others. There has to be life out there. We can't be the only ones.
Why I keep asking people is like why when they're in the paranormal. I'll ask you guys watching.
Bust my balls. Here we go.
No.
Go on, say what you want to say.
It's people believe in ghosts more than they believe in alien life.
And
Why
alien
is
life
that?
is probably more. It's more of a real life, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's more of a
Alien life,
the spirit
is,
world
is probability more of a probability than ghosts.
Yeah, but I think it's because ghosts are more familiar, if you know what I mean. Like when we die, you think if you're a big believer, it's more believable than this other. I don't think you really think about it, if you know what I mean. Like with aliens, you think about death, don't you?
No. People want to believe in ghosts and afterlife more than aliens. It's because they're scared of dying. Which I'll be the first to admit, I'm petrified of dying. So you want to find out what happens.
Yeah, but I'm petrified of dying.
What happens to you when you die, and that's what they want to find out more.
Yeah, but I'm petrified of dying, but I know that death could happen at any moment, and I'm more likely to turn into a ghost than I'm more likely to meet an alien.
And that's why people believe in ghosts more than aliens.
No, yeah, exactly. That's my point. You just said people believe in aliens more because they don't want to die.
No, people believe in ghosts more than they do aliens.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But there's more of a probability than with aliens than with ghosts.
No, there's more of a probability with ghosts than there's aliens. You're more likely to die. Obviously, you are going to die at some point.
Why have we never seen a ghost of a dinosaur?
Because dinosaurs can't ride. Oh my god, I just seen a ghost, can they? You don't see a T-Rex, like, oh god. That thing I just ate, it's just come back.
Are you telling me you don't believe in the dinosaurs?
I do, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
How can you not believe the finding bones of dinosaurs?
I'm joking.
The aliens put it there, Glenn. Aliens put these dinosaur bones there to trick us.
No.
Did the aliens wipe the dinosaurs out for us to move in?
Dinosaurs out, so we could live on here happily.
Ooh, see that?
If dinosaurs were still alive when we first came onto Earth, we wouldn't have a chance. They would have better all. So aliens,
they weren't the big fish.
The aliens took them out and
helped us.
Yeah.
No, there was still proof of us fighting mammoths, wasn't there?
Yeah, but that's mammoths, isn't it? Not T-Rexes.
Dinosaurs, Rexes.
I think mammoths. I don't think mammoths is sort of like dinosaur, is it? I think.
Is it just after?
Yeah, just after the Ice Age and all that. That was after the whole. Then the dinosaurs got wiped, and then we had like mammoths and stuff and saber-toothed tigers around, and we were kind of like coming up with our coats on. We learned how to wear a coat, and we was like killing.
Was that human or Neanderthal there?
We were starting to turn human, I think, at that point.
No, what? Because humans suddenly appeared on Earth.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah. Aliens come down and gave birth to us all. I forgot.
Right.
Anyway, on that note, we'll leave the alien section.
I've just got a finishing note for the people listening back at home. Okay. It's to signs to know that if you've been abducted. So please listen into the following symptoms: anal pain, enlarged nipples, a sudden fondness for natural yogurt.
What?
Right, I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to scroll down because it's 58. Phantom pregnancy in females. Right, so you've got humming, buzzing, tones, clicks in ears. Reports of missing time, which has been mentioned previously in the podcast.
Yeah.
Spontaneous visual images in mind, as if it's been projected. Feelings of being special, like a mission in life. Unexplained bruises, scars, scoop marks, triangle marks, punctures, lesions in the body. Unexplained nosebleeds. Seeing balls of light before or after an alien encounter. Fear of the sleep paralysis is a big one. Metallic taste in the mouth, following sulfur smells of mouldy cardboard and wet leather odor. Spontaneous psychic abilities. Taste in the mouth again. Unexplained headaches. And belief of lucid dreamings as well. Lucid dreams. Yeah. And high cravings for salt. So
Oh,
watch out for yourself.
You love salt.
I need to stop eating salt.
Are you sure
There's
you
no
haven't
big-
been abducted? You moan that your nipples hurt sometimes.
I'm my bum.
That's after a drunken night with Kim.
Knackered now.
So yeah, shall we
Wrap it up.
wrap it up?
Right. I'll see you later, guys. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
make sure
hold
you
on,
hit us on
hold
Head Loop.
hold on.
Oh, hang
Not
on.
finished yet.
Hang on. Bloody hell.
Where did we finish?
I don't know. We went off on a tangent.
Yeah, so that concludes our introduction to alien life.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not.
Just an introduction.
Just an introduction. It wasn't great. We obviously do something more when we can get out, do some investigating, and keep an eye out on YouTube for our next podcast, which probably a few weeks now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, hit the share button, get us out there.
Give me a gold star.
You can find our page on Facebook as well as Breaking Paranormal UK.
Yeah.
Breaking Paranormal UK
Twitter.
on Facebook,
Join in
Instagram.
any of our posts. That's what it's all about with us. We like people interacting, and we like to hear people's stories. And
Yeah.
That's what it's all about for us. It's learning. You can clearly see I don't know much about aliens. You probably can tell with this, but
I
I'm
don't know a
learning.
great deal.
I'm learning. So
So it's like you watch stuff, you read stuff, and you get into it, don't you?
Yeah.
No one's an expert, are
no.
You will be at the end of this.
they?
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
So yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Roger. Bye.
Bye.
All right, see you guys.
Bye 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 bye.
Here you go now.
See you later.
In a bit. Hold on. Let's stop recording.